welcome to another edition of Carpool Reactions. I'm JD.
Want to ring the bell?
All right. Ding, ding.
And as you can see, I have a guest with me today. I have the incredibly talented, one of the baddest vocalists on the planet, Miss Lena Scissorhands from Infected Rain. Lena, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, thank you for having me again.
Yes, this is our second interview. And I'll tell you what, the last one, you remember the questions I asked?
Yes.
Get ready for more of those.
Okay, good.
Now, for those of y'all that have been following her, you know she's all over Instagram, all over social media. She makes incredible music, even during COVID. She's on BIGO. She's got her Patreon that she gives back to and shares a bunch of stuff with us. My first question is, how in the hell do you find time for yourself?
I don't. I don't find time for myself, and I don't know. From one side, this is good because the more time I have to chill and to just take care of myself, so-called, the more thoughts that are not supposed to be in my head are hunting me. So in situations like this, when it's not very easy and the world situation is like so uncertain and everything is so uncertain, I find that keeping myself busy helps me being sane. So
I agree.
so that is the first reason. Second reason is I am home, so that helps a lot. I didn't get stuck anywhere, so I I have my normal home routine, that normal home things that I do that are good enough, and then I try to keep myself busy with music and writing, and then, just being closer to the supporters of Infected Rain and my supporters is just really helpful because cheers me up and gives me more reason and motivation to move on and do more and stay creative.
It's good to stay busy like this, especially in this world we live in right now. So you have done it digitally.
Yes, correct. I say it all the time. We got lucky to get this pandemic happening in such a evolved time, with the internet and all the gadgets that we have. We can be so close to each other. My family lives in Italy. My band lives in Moldova. I have a few friends here that I made. Actually, the majority of friends that I have at the moment are friends that I made during COVID, actually, because a lot of musicians stopped touring and we all have more time to connect. And I knew all of them before, but we never had time to actually connect to the level of friendship and like talk more and spend more time together or do things together even. And because before, friends that I have from before are just so little, just a few of them, because I was constantly on tour, and relationships don't really survive when you're on tour, even when we talk about friends. You lose touch, you lose, one forgot to ask you how you are today, the other forgot to ask you how the others are next day. So it's kind of the busyness and all of it. It's not an easy lifestyle. So not everybody can keep a friendship or a relationship or even a marriage or whatever it is, any type, of relationships. Like even I was far from my own dog, which had to every time had to remember me back when I was coming back from tour. So it's not easy. But now that I've been here for so long, I think this is the first time I've been away from the band for so long. Um, I see the positive in it, and I see how many new people I acquired in my life, like quality people, how much more I learned as a musician. I learned a lot because being far from my bandmates forced me to learn certain things that they were doing for me that normally vocalists don't really do. Very few do it by themselves, like knowing the programming and recording at the level of like sound engineers and stuff, right? Obviously, I'm not at that level, but I learned the basics that I would need as a vocalist to record my part being, on the other side of the planet. So all these things are awesome. They require a lot of time and patience, and we have time now, so why learning it, So that's basically why I decided to do so much and to be almost everywhere. Also, the uncertainty on when we are going to be back on tour and when things are going to at least start moving a little made me want to be closer to the fans and to the band supporters, because we are in need of each other in a way or another. The artist and the fan, or the supporter, whatever type of artist you are. You can be an actor or a painter, a musician, it doesn't matter. We do this for ourselves, but the satisfaction of being able to touch somebody else's soul, somebody else's heart and world and life in a way, even if in slightest little bit of way, is very rewarding. And we get addicted to that, after a while. And it's difficult to live without that when you had it for so long. So that's why I am in need, and my fans and in my supporters and everybody in my band are in need in everybody because of that as well. So I feel like this is a very fair exchange of energy, presence in each other's life, and support. And I was able to get closer to a lot of people that support me on Patreon, know them better, what they do for in their life, and like wish them happy birthday in person, like a video and stuff like that. So it's a different level of connection. So I decided that I want to be part of it as much as I can. Obviously, I cannot do too much. I will, however, try to improve the quality and the content of what I do already. That's what I'm trying to work on, because I like quality over quantity, if that makes sense. Even with social media, that is actually very important, because in fact, yes, it is true that I am all over the place, but at the same time, I'm not really active everywhere. Like, I do have an account on Twitter, but I never understood how that works. So I'm just like technically reposting whatever I post on Instagram there. So I'm not active there. Or there are like people are very active on Twitch or other type of, like, TikTok now is very popular, and then there's so many other more. Uh, and I just can't seem to have time and knowledge for everything, but I do try my best.
I don't know how you make time to do what you already do. But I mean, seriously, hearing that is you are the personification of making good out of a bad situation, and that's amazing, amazing.
Thank you, thank you. Actually, it's important to hear that, because I'm also a human being, and I also have ups and downs, and the downs are really low, and I'm like, I don't know, this is so uncertain, so difficult. Where are we going with this? What is this going to become?
We're gonna make
So,
it.
but thank you for
We're gonna make it.
that I'm doing great.
If you could, and this is my next question, I'm gonna switch it up here a little bit.
Yes, of course.
If you could like snap your fingers and become an expert in something, what would it be? Anything you want.
Expert. Well, this is a difficult question. There's so much that I'm curious about. I'm very curious about the energy between everything that is lives on the planet, nature, the cosmos, all this type of energy and the way it works. Um, it's something that people study, but I feel like it's never been really discovered enough, because we could have used that in our benefit if we knew enough about it. So I would like to know more about that for sure. It would be nice to be an expert in, I mean, you want to say, obviously, the first thing that came to my mind would be to be an expert in music, but I don't think there's such thing as being an expert in music.
I'm talking to one.
No, I'm not an expert.
Have y'all heard her music? Come on.
Well, doing music that people love and consider good, it's not making you an expert though, because being an expert in music requires not only years and years and years of studying music history and music notes and music rules, but also creating music for way longer than I've been doing it. So I don't know. I think yeah, I'll stick with my first answer.
Okay, so being an expert in energy of all things on the planet.
Yes, yes, I would love to like even be so like I think I'm pretty sensitive to like energies. Maybe not as sensitive as like some psychics are,
Mhm.
but I can feel certain things and changes in mood and in nature and in people, things that are difficult to explain. But it would be I don't know, probably that would be um my curse though. But I'm curious about it. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, she wants to be Yoda.
Fine, or I will help you not.
Fuck yeah, I want to be. I wish.
That's what that sounded like. Damn. All right, now imagine this. Aliens land in your front yard and
Hmm.
tell you that they have no concept of music whatsoever from where they come from. Know nothing about it. What is the first song you would play for them? And you can't pick Deftones.
Oh shit. No.
Ah,
No, I wouldn't pick Deftones. I would pick yeah, Queen, the Bohemian Rhapsody. That is such a good um song with so many different styles in it. Um yeah, I would definitely, even after all these years, I would pick that song for sure.
I like it. That yeah. Okay, to introduce them to music with that,
Oh
spot
yeah.
on. Yes. All right, Lena, imagine this. They ask you to come back to their planet with them. They ask you to come back with them. Do you go?
Um, I think I would have questions about what type of a planet that is. Um, but I I am curious about stuff like that, so probably yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like you could be a lab rat or you could come back with stories to tell.
Exactly, exactly. But even if you are a lab rat, whatever, you know, we watch too many movies and we think that's like, you know, they get inside of our bodies and grow cells and stuff like that. But no, like if there is a different species somewhere in the cosmos, which is so possible, so possible, then of course I would be curious to see it. Of course I would be curious to live, even if it's for a little bit, among them, and like just um, learn what they learned and see with their perspective the life. And when I said that I would like probably have some questions, would have been questions about the planet where we go, because obviously a human body is not really made to survive everywhere. So not that I'm afraid to die, but like you wouldn't be having um fun or learning anything if you can't even breathe. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much, so my curiosity would be like, yes, I want to go and learn and see, but if I can't survive there, then how am I going to do that? You know what I
So
mean?
you would check off all the boxes for logistics first and then let's do this.
More than not so much of a logistics, more like just like would I be able would I be able to drink water? Because that's all we need to survive. That's it, you know?
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. If you could get away with any crime, what would it be? Just one.
Crime.
Like you could commit a crime and get away with it, scot-free.
I think, I mean, I'm not really very um, good at like knowing all the crimes. How do crimes really are besides the obvious ones, you know, the killing and stealing
Yeah.
and like I don't know, stuff like that. Um, but there are other crimes that are also like crimes that you could go to the jail, but they are not as huge as killing or
You could
stealing.
say a speeding ticket if you wanted to.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, hmm. That's a difficult one.
That's why I asked.
um, well, a speeding ticket is not really a crime, isn't it, though?
Yeah, it
It
is.
No, it's breaking rules and you pay fees for that, but it's not really a crime, isn't it? You don't go to the jail for a speeding ticket,
You
right?
been to South Carolina?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know. I never had a speeding ticket. I hope I will never have one. But oh man,
We can come back to it. Because
I
it
don't.
is, it's a hard one because it's thinking outside of our human nature.
Yes, yes. It's I mean, not really even that, but it's just obviously the one thing that you want to think about is like the worst, you know, the worst crimes. Would you want to do it and get away with it? You know, I don't know.
You want to come back to it?
Sure.
Okay. You have a truckload of tattoos. I mean,
Yeah.
it's making me look bad. You got a truckload of tattoos. Which one describes you the best?
Um, Many of my tattoos they go together, so they are like a compilation of a bunch of things.
Or which one is your most memorable one?
I think the most memorable one it would be my chest tattoo because of
Up
how,
here?
yeah, because of how just the process and the time when I got it and the things that it has and the person that gave it to me did it for me is also super amazing. So yeah, I think my chest tattoo could represent me the most and could be the most memorable for me. Yeah.
That was last year, wasn't it?
I think 1 year, yes, exactly 1 year ago. Yep. That was actually, no, it was in September because that was right before the tour. Um, I flew back to Moldova in the beginning of October to get ready for the tour. So that was sometimes in middle of September, I want to say. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's about a year ago.
Yeah.
For those who haven't seen, you've got pictures all over the place of them. They're
Yeah.
brilliant detail in them. Just
She's from
amazing work.
Lena B from Netherlands. Um, she's a great tattoo artist, great person, and just so driven and so into what she's doing. That's awesome.
Amazing work.
Mhm.
What is your prized possession? Like the house is on fire and you only got time to save one thing. People are okay, animals are okay. You get one thing. What is your prized possession?
Oh, hmm. Maybe I will try to save my. I have a photo album that is kind of comes from my childhood, and I have black and white pictures of my grandparents and my parents and my sisters. Those things like are no, you can't find them anywhere else. You know, I have a few, my sisters have a few, my mom, I don't know if she even has them. We all like just split them between us when we moved away. I think I would try to save that. But you know, like of course, especially when especially if and when you live alone, you think about things like, okay, if I have to uh, run away from the house or go somewhere, or like something is happening and I have to like immediately get out of the house, what am I going to grab? And obviously, the first thing I'm going to grab is my passport and my ID, just because if I need to travel or something like that. Everything else you can have. Everything. Now with your phone, you even don't have to have your cards, bank cards with you. You can do everything by phone, and you can, you know, buy everything else, have everything else, you know. But obviously, I'm just I'm not really having, you know, your own place and having your own things is a luxury of life that just improves the, you know, our everyday life quality or mood or whatever. But it's not that necessary. It's not the most important. So I'm not like a materialistic person. If my loved ones and my animals or whatever are good, I am good, you know. That's the most important for sure. And I lived in different life conditions since I was a child, in different countries too. I had to start over so many times. I'm not afraid to start over. I literally, like, I don't know if anybody actually knows that, but in all my life I started my life over from start 4 times.
Wow.
Scratch without having anything.
Wow.
Yes.
You are a very strong person. I mean, I knew that anyway. I already knew that, and I assumed that. But that's wow. I did not know that.
That's not easy, but when you do it a few times, you know what you're doing and you will survive. My mom loves to say that, you know, even if I find myself, she did tell me that a few times, which gives me courage actually. She said if you will ever find yourself somewhere in a desert, you will survive. And that's nice to say, to hear, especially from a parent, you know, that she can see that in you. I don't even see that in me, but she does.
Sometimes we don't see our best qualities, but others do. You're absolutely right.
It's possible, yeah.
Do you have other animals besides? By the way, for those who have not seen her dog, that is the cutest dog I have ever seen.
She's
What's her
a,
name? Luna?
it's Luna, and she's a
She
mini.
is adorable.
She's going to be 2 years old in the end of January. She's newest to my family. But yeah, she's
Do you
my.
have any others?
I do not have any others here. However, Um, I don't consider this being my animal. It's more like a band animal, but I did rescue a cat long ago, which you can see in 2 of our music videos. His name is Pirate, and he was a homeless cat, uh, about to die actually, and I ended up having him and to take him to the vet and stuff. He had a messed up eye, and that was the reason why his name is Pirate. But yeah, he is always with the band. The majority of the time, he is mainly living with the guitar player Vidic, because that's where our rehearsal room is, and that's where I am all the time when I go to Moldova. So I see him only when I go to Moldova. But I can't consider him my cat anymore. But yes, I rescued him, and he was my love. He still is. I still love him very much, but he's in good hands.
That's good, and it's good that you can stay in touch, even because they're still in Europe.
Yes,
So it's
everybody.
great that you can stay in touch.
Yeah.
Now, we discussed this earlier. I've been in a band, and I've worked with several others. Every band has a prankster.
Mhm.
Who is the prankster in Infected Rain, and what is the best prank they ever pulled off?
Um, I don't think we actually have anybody in the band that like is good with pranks or anything.
No
But
way.
I promise you, we have so the band's troublemakers are the 2 brothers, the guitar player and the bass player. They are 2 brothers, and they only have a year and a half difference or a year difference.
Mm-hmm.
And they are the troublemakers. They are the party animals of the band and stuff like that. However, when they party, especially if it's together with our crew guy Arkady, which he is with us for the longest time now, 5 years I think already. He's like part of the family. He's like part of the band. He's good with pranks, and they make fun of each other all the time, especially if it's a day off and they got a little bit more loose and like had an extra drink or something. They make fun of each other big time, like shave each other's beards while the other is stuff like that. Yes, for sure. Those three together, trouble.
I love it, and you do stuff like that to stay sane. So yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, every band has somebody or somebody's just like that that keeps everybody sane. I got one last question.
Okay.
If you were a wrestler, you ever watch wrestling?
Not really. That's not going to be a really good question for me. I
Mm.
just never got into it. I never like grew up with it. It's never been like part of um, the so-called pop culture. I would
Mhm.
like to think that that's also part of pop culture. It's something that it's more American, and I know the majority of people my age or older, they a lot of friends here, they talk about is wrestling. I don't know names. The only thing I know is that The Rock used to be a wrestler. Yeah, exactly. And that's it. I mean, I watched a really cool movie about this girl wrestler that she was with,
Paige.
yeah, with her brother. And I was very touched by her story. That's another really good movie about how when you really, really have a dream, you have to pursue it and you have to fight for it. So I watched that. That was awesome. But that's pretty much all my knowledge about wrestling. So,
You could still answer this question. By the way, over here in South Carolina, it's wrestling. Yeah. You can still answer this question. If you were a wrestler, what is your entrance song?
oh, that's so funny you asked me that because I actually, I will probably answer that in a second. Before answering, I need to tell you that I was not too long ago. I believe sometimes around the beginning of this year, so a little bit before the quarantine happened and everything, I was contacted by a girl. She DM'd me, and I saw that she has a um, checked profile, so it's like an actual official profile, like with a check mark. And I didn't know her. I went to see she has so many followers and all, and her message was in English, and she said her name is Marina, and she is a fighter, and she's from Moldova actually, and she
Whoa.
moved to America when she was a kid, and she's a fighter, and she would like to have an entrance song made by a band from her country. So it is possible that we will eventually do that.
Oh
Yes,
man.
we had to, kind of hold back on this because everything that happened in the world. But I got so excited for that, and I'm so inspired by this girl. I'm following her since then, and she is a beast. She's so amazing, so
Can you
powerful.
send me her info so I can put it down there in the description?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, let me see if I can even say it for your video, because I want to say her like actual name, like fighter name, I guess.
That's awesome that she wants a
Uh,
song from a band from her country. Who
okay,
better? Oh my God, who better?
yes, exactly. So her name is Marina Shafir, Safir, Safir or Shafir, and she is the official supernova from Moldova. And she's an athlete, obviously. Amazing,
Shit.
amazing.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, and I really love following her because she has a very funny lifestyle as well. She has a younger a child, a boy, and together they like um, do sports and like train, and it's really cool. So, and she is absolutely gorgeous. I wanted to say that because it makes me very proud that we have amazing people coming from Moldova. But yes, I will give you her information so you can have it for the description. But
I'd
if
like to follow her as well. Yeah.
of course, of course. And yeah, that reminds me, I have it in my to-do list to ask her if they are back into business at all. I don't know how it works for fighters, if it's just like for musicians, or they can have certain things without an audience. I don't know. Anyways, if I was to be a fighter, I think for the hell of it and just for the funny, the funny aspect of it, I would have the eye of a tiger.
I love it. No, I love it. I'm sorry. Rocky
Yes,
movies
of
and me.
course. No, you have to know. So this is funny that you asked this because whenever I stretch or work out on tour and my boys are around and they are actually not busy, they always play that on their phone to make fun of me. Like next to me somewhere, they play that on their phone and they make fun of me. So I love it.
I love it. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm actually going. I'm gonna cut and play that at some
Yeah.
point during this video. That's amazing. And Lena, thank you so much for taking the time to.
Sorry, I was not able to answer that one question, but just cut
No,
it off.
it's okay. Again, hey, it goes against what we've been taught and our whole lives. You've been
Yeah,
taught to
yeah.
do the right thing, and it's when you're asked to do the opposite, your brain just isn't programmed like that. So.
Possible, yeah.
But no, thank you so much for taking the
Thank
time
you.
to
Thank
be
you.
here today. I'm gonna go ahead
Having,
and go ahead. Oh, I didn't hear the last part. I'm sorry.
thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and sign us off. So leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm JD, and always be yourself because everybody else is already taken.
Don't be a knife.